rise. Once they come in, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. This time we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Prepare to post the colors. Ready? Move. Present. Arms. Quarter. Arms. Ready? Move.
At this time, I'd like to invite Willissa Redford with Legacy Christian Church forward to provide tonight's invocation.
Will you bow your heads and pray with me? Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that you would be with these men and women, our city officials, and that you would enable them to serve their fellow citizens and not themselves. That they would make every decision rooted in principles that would glorify you. And as a result of serving you in this way, I pray that the city of Harrison would have more jobs, more children who are better educated, an economy that is booming and thriving, a community that is united, and citizens filled with hope. God, I ask that you would walk closely with these men and women, and that you would continue to remind them of their calling to serve the citizens of Harrison. May they always see themselves as your children, endowed with a special position and calling to serve others. God, allow these men and women not to worry about anything, but in everything with great thanksgiving, always lay their burdens upon you. Consume these men and women with a heart to love you fully, to love the citizens of Harrison as they love themselves. Father, I ask that you would protect each one of them, protect their families from harm, from ill will, from discouragement. I pray that you pour out your blessings on each of them, that their love for you, their love for family, their love for the citizens of Harrison would increase. May their example of serving you encourage each of us to serve and not to be served, but to go out and give of our time and attention to those who have needs. May each of us love you, God, with our hearts, minds, and souls, and may we love our neighbors as ourselves. Amen.
Amen.
We're honored tonight to have Judge Amy Searcy with Hamilton County Municipal Courts here. I'd like to invite her forward to swear in the new members of council and our new clerk.
Thank you very much. Just come and please court.
Okay.
That's it. And I have to say, I participate in many ceremonies like this, and I think that's the nicest invocation I've ever heard. Thank you very much. Being a servant, that's the theme, and that's so critical. Okay, very good. Risa Dole, would you like to step forward first? Raise your right hand. I, Risa Dole,
I, Risa Dole,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of
and
Ohio,
will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
observe the provisions
observe the provisions
of the Charter
of the Charter
and ordinances
and ordinances
of the Municipality of Harrison,
of the Municipality of Harrison,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully
the
discharge
duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Clerk of Council
of Clerk of Council,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I used to read your dad's article. And Ryan Grubbs. Congratulations. Raise your right hand, please. Yes. Easier for the picture taking? It's all about the picture. Raise your right hand, please. I, Ryan Grubbs,
I, Ryan Gross,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
observe the provisions of the Charter
and preserve the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the Municipality of Harrison,
and the ordinances of the Municipality of Harrison,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of council member,
and
the duties of the office of council member,
the duties of the office of council member,
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And here, this is for you. Congratulations to you, too. Raise your right hand, please. I, Ethan Dole,
I, Ethan
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances
and ordinances
of the Municipality of Harrison,
of the Municipality of Harrison,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of a council member
the duties of a councilman
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to
So
enter.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this is yours. Congratulations to you too.
Thank you very much.
And you want to raise your right hand?
Boy, I've done this.
There you go. I, Urbano Belinda,
I, William Benning,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances
and ordinances
of the Municipality of Harrison,
of the Municipality of Harrison,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I'll faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member,
upon which I'm about to enter.
which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Glad I didn't go first.
Raise your right hand, please. I, Michael Maines,
I, Michael Mays,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances
and ordinances
of the Municipality of Harrison,
of the Municipality of Harrison,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of council member upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me.
Congratulations. And this is yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now that we have the formalities out of the way, I'd like to ask our new clerk, Risa, to please take the roll.
Abrams.
Here.
Menninger. Grubbs.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Dole.
Here.
Maines.
Here.
Galindo.
Here.
First item on this evening's agenda is approval of the council meeting minutes for December 19th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Do we have any corrections that need to be noted?
Did not see anything.
Will you please take the roll?
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Abstain.
Galindo.
Abstain.
Next item on this evening's agenda is approval of the purchase orders report. I realize this came out late, but we had to close out 2017 before we could begin issuing 2018 reports, POs. So I hope everybody had a chance to review those. We need a motion and second to approve the purchase orders.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second.
Mhm.
Will you please take the roll?
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Next item is the election of vice mayor. Do we have nominations for vice mayor?
You want to have a discussion, or?
I think we should have a discussion.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we had a little bit of a discussion about the office of vice mayor and how it should be appointed, and there's been suggestions that it should be appointed to an individual who works in Harrison and is available on a regular basis in Harrison. It's also been suggested that that's not necessary. There was also a suggestion thrown out of having it as a 2-year term. So at least that's the things that I've heard. You guys throw in anything else that you have to talk about. But
I'm only really speaking from my own experience over the past year. You know, obviously, everyone up here voted me as vice mayor last year, and as I have worked hard in that role, I feel like the only official job description, so to speak, is obviously to stand in if the mayor wasn't here. But I feel like there's so much more to the role. I feel like being present at ribbon cuttings and events and really just being an ambassador for our city out front and be willing to have the time to put into that role is how I see it, quite frankly. And I suggested a 2-year term for consistency, essentially, for the city. Just like when we switch chairs in committees, it's really hard for our directors, I feel, on a yearly basis to establish a relationship with one of us, you know, as far as like that committee goes, and then to switch to someone else, you know? I don't know. That's, again, strictly my opinion, food for thought, you know, and I'd love to hear what everyone else has to say.
No, I totally agree. I think consistency is key in a lot of what we do, because it helps with the knowledge in how we handle the different circumstances and decisions. In regards to 2 years, I think 2 years allows the flexibility to rotate it, I guess, and allow others to have the opportunity and the honor to hold that position. But it does maintain consistency in the community that we're trying to develop. So I like the ideas. I understand why it's been done in the past. But it is something that we do need to take into account when we're sitting here taking a look at it.
I'd certainly agree with the consistency part. In response to what you said, Cindy, I don't necessarily agree that it's only the role of the vice mayor to do that. I think it's the role of each of us as a city council person to be involved in the community and ribbon cuttings and other things whenever we're available to do that. I don't necessarily see that just as a role of the vice mayor. The role of vice mayor is to step in for the mayor when he's unavailable to attend those things. But as a council person, you should take the time to attend those events when you can, when you're available. And I understand a lot of the people up here work outside the city and can't attend those. So I work in the city. I try to attend as many as I possibly can. Sometimes it's just not I agree with the consistency from a committee standpoint. I don't necessarily agree from the vice mayor standpoint. It's a role that needs to be filled, but it's to some degree an honorary role too. Each of us up here should have the ability to step in for the mayor when the mayor is unavailable. So the criteria of being vice mayor, we should all have that knowledge to do that. So I don't believe it's necessarily something that someone needs to gain over a 2-year term. And if you put in a 2-year term, that only allows, one council person may only be in office for 4 years. It's a 4-year term. You're no guarantee that you're going to be reelected. So the opportunity to somebody to serve as vice mayor is very, very limited if we say it's a 2-year term. If it's a 1-year term like it has been, it gives 4 individuals the opportunity to serve as vice mayor during that 4-year term. So that's what I don't like about the 2-year term. So my opinion would be to stick with a 1-year rotation, and we appoint a new vice mayor at the January meeting of every year.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it out loud again. I think that when you pass it around, it's just a title, is all it is. And you cheapen it, in my opinion. Again, we need to assign duties. Yes, it's all of our duties to go everywhere, but I'm sitting here to tell you that that hasn't happened over the last year. Now,
And some people
I
aren't
can speak,
available.
right, and I'm blessed to be able to work and live in this city.
Yeah.
But the truth is, again, I'd like to see another role as vice mayor. This is new. It's something we've never done. A school district liaison. I feel that there needs to be somebody who is committed to the school district sitting up here to communicate.
And that doesn't
Because-
necessarily have to be a vice mayor.
Well, it
If
doesn't,
you want to
but,
assign somebody as a school liaison and assign somebody as a school liaison.
but
doesn't
again,
have
if
to be
we're going to
vice
make this, if we're going to leave vice mayor as a title, then don't do all this. But if we're going to make it something that means something, has some teeth in it, then we can assign duties.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree that it cheapens the role of vice mayor to pass it around, because you're not really passing it around. Everybody up here was elected to office. Everybody up here wants to be a part of the community, and we've done this for a reason. So to say that because it's only a 1-year term cheapens it, I don't agree with. I think anybody who holds that office is doing it for the same reason that you would hold it if it was a 2-year term. I don't see how it cheapens it.
And that's your opinion, you're entitled to it.
Yeah.
Every city does it different. I've done research, whether it's the top vote getter is the mayor, and they hold a 4-year term, period.
Yeah.
Or whether it's, again, voted by the peers here. So there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Well, Cindy, I thought you did a great job as the vice mayor last year, and I would support you again this year, once we're done with, our discussion and everything. But I think I do agree with you, Mark, that making it a 2-year term really does lock it down to where only, over the course of, only 2 people will get the opportunity to do it. Now, I do agree that I think it should be somebody that's local. That way, in a pinch, hey, yeah, I can be there, not out of town. Oh, well, I'm an hour and a half away, So I think that's a good point. It should be somebody fairly local, but I don't necessarily like the 2-year term. So,
And the local part, I think in our age of technology is not as necessary. We have top quality directors that run the city. The job of mayor or vice mayor is to direct those directors, to manage those directors. The odds of the mayor being unavailable for a day when the most important decision in the city happens is next to nothing. We pay our directors to manage this, to basically take care of the city. So whether it's somebody local or somebody that's a phone call away, I don't find that to be an issue either way
more
myself.
ceremonial thing was kind of what I was
Ceremonial
thinking.
things, right.
You know what I mean? Where you got to be in person.
Right, but I mean, when other people have not been available, I've stood in for the mayor as a council person,
Sure.
and that's perfectly acceptable also. So for ceremonial things, you can handle that. Can I
One
ask a question?
comment I'd like to make, we're focusing on the edges of the vice mayor's responsibilities. The vice mayor is primary responsibility is that if the mayor's not in the capacity to fulfill his duties, I'm sick, not at a meeting, they run the meeting. If I were to have an extended illness or the mayor at the time becomes incapacitated, they fill in for the mayor until whatever provision the charter has, whether it's to the end of the term or till a special election, they fill that seat. We need to focus on that. I know every single council member up here ran because they had a passion to provide for the city. And every single council member that's desiring to be a vice mayor's position has to have the same desire to be able to fill that role and willing to fill it when that might happen. I hope it never happens. But unfortunately, and we just had a commissioner in an adjoining county pass away during his term. And it's a very stark reality that it could happen. I pray that it doesn't, especially the seat I'm in. But it's something, that's the primary focus we have to look at. Being at a ribbon cutting or whatever other things we've discussed to this point are all secondary to that primary duty of the vice mayor, and that's what we need to focus on. This position is a position that if the mayor becomes to a point where he can no longer perform his duties, they have to step in. The mayor's job is very, very important. It's different, completely different role than the council members, because council members control the regulations, the ordinances, the distribution of the money, the disbursements, and the mayor controls the operational side. And they're two separate functions. So our city's set up very nice that way. And the 2-year term's debatable. I think it does kind of lock it down. It kind of doesn't give people the opportunity to participate as much as some other council members might want. So there's a pro and a con to that. But I think we need to focus more on the primary duties and responsibilities of that position, more so than I can be at a ribbon cutting or I can't. I think every business in town would rather see somebody that's willing to step in and do what the mayor needs to be done, or needs to be done as the mayor if the mayor can't, than have somebody show up at a ribbon cutting.
I do believe I started my whole statement saying that, Mayor,
Okay, well,
with all due respect.
I guess in the lengthy exchange after that, I missed
Right,
it. I
right.
lost it.
Didn't hear it.
But I think that's very, very crucial that we focus on that first. And I don't think anybody up here would fail at that mission. I just think that everybody up here should have an opportunity at that if they desire it.
Are we done with the discussion? Anything?
Urbano was going to say something.
You answered the question that I had, because what I heard was a lot of opinion, a lot of speculation on what a mayor does, or vice mayor role is, and what I really wanted to get to was, what is the actual nuts and bolts in the job description of the mayor? And based on what you said, this is a contingency plan.
It is.
It's a succession plan, and being prepared in the event that you're indisposed for a day, a month, or longer. You know, with that being said, that satisfies what the job description is for me. What it sounds like there's several individuals that do want this position, and what I would ask is, prior to even the nominations, what skill set is present to handle those duties? Because at the end of the day, I think one of the questions, Mark, or comments you made was, give us an opportunity to serve. I think everyone sitting up here right now is doing that when you have the opportunity. But what is the skill set that's required to put the city of Harrison first? Not our individual wants, needs, or egos. What is best, and who maintains the best skill set to lead the city of Harrison should there be a need?
Totally agree.
So I have one question. Are we talking about changing the vice mayor position to a 2-year term, or are we worried about whether we can serve consecutive 1-year terms?
I think the 2-year gig is off the table now.
I think
We're
that,
talking about a 1-year term, and now we need to nominate someone.
I don't think there's a limit to how many consecutive one-year terms that a person could serve.
Right.
But I think
So there's
that
no term limit, there's nothing in
Ideally,
that regard.
I think ideally it would be a year-to-year position. I don't know that that's spelled out in the charter. That's the way it's been for as long as I've been involved with city politics.
Could actually make
And-
an argument the charter requires you to elect a vice mayor at every organizational meeting, which should be every January.
So every January. So it would be
Settle that.
stated in the charter that it has to be 1 year. Thank you for the clarification.
So obviously, there's folks that want this role.
That's what a,
I mean, and there's gonna have to be a nomination. Whose hats are in the running?
So-
Honestly, day one, I'm out. Just in case you wanted to know.
I personally think that Cindy served last year, and I think Ryan has the skill set, and he's got the years on council and the knowledge at this point that he would be a good nomination.
I also feel Ryan would be good, but I also feel that Cindy did a very good job. She's local. She's readily available at any time. I think she's went above and beyond anything that was asked of her this year. So
No doubt.
I think we have two good choices, and I don't really know how to go.
Yeah. No, I'm
You
not,
know.
I'm sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
discounting Cindy. All I'm saying is she had the opportunity last year. That's my
Sure.
only point.
I guess the question maybe for Ryan is, do you desire the position, Ryan?
I would be honored to hold a position, yes.
Cindy, would you accept it if you were offered that position?
Absolutely.
So we have Cindy and Ryan. Is there anyone else that would like to make a nomination or state that they're interested?
So one of you just
So-
has to decide who you're going to
Need a
nominate.
motion. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Ryan Grubbs as vice mayor for the city of Harrison for 2018.
Before we go there, is it possible to hear both of you articulate your desires and the skill set and why you would make a good vice mayor?
Could you,
There you go.
so we'll hold Mark's motion. He has a motion that he's made, but we're going to hold the
Yeah.
motion until we give the two nominees an opportunity to articulate. So that, I mean, Urbano and Mike are both new to the council. They've had some interactions with the different members, but I'm sure that they haven't had the in-depth interaction that Ethan and Mark have both had with these two individuals. So this will be their opportunity to kind of sell themselves.
No, I think about, when I sit here and I think about it, I've had the opportunity to sit on just about every committee, if not all the different committees. So I've been able to round myself out with the knowledge of the different workings within the city. Obviously, my key is in finance, but I have the desire for economic development and growth within the city. But when it comes down to it, I think what you're really looking for is the ability to make decisions, on a daily basis, work with multi-million-dollar corporations in the financing. From the lending side of thing, I have the management experience with staff and working with the complexities of the environment that we live and work in on a daily basis. And I've done it from multiple different areas, not just in retail banking centers, but across the banking industry. I think those different things that I bring to the table from outside of the municipal setting is what helps me and would help me make decisions when we come down here, as well as the relationships that I've been able to build with the different directors in all the different departments. I think if you sit there and ask any one of them, I think they have a respect for me that allows the opportunity to work good, so.
Well, as you all know, this is my third official year, starting January 1st on council. And I ran for many reasons, but the end goal is to leave Harrison better than I found it. That's the bottom line with all of this. I was I bring to the table, obviously, I've served on just about every committee also, because the first year around, they moved me around on different committees, so, but my strengths are obviously police, fire, and civil defense, it's what I used to do. So I also had to make split-second life and death decisions that, coming up here, reading something over the course of 2 weeks and making an educated decision is pretty easy compared to what I dealt with in my prior career. I run a business from my house, and I truly understand the inner workings of the city because I physically get involved. So, the ride-alongs I do, and police, fire, streets department, all of it, I truly understand what is happening in this city and how it runs every day. And through the ride-alongs, I've been able to, make relationships. It's all about people making relationships and truly communicating in this world. That's what it's about. And been involved with the Republican Party pretty heavy, obviously. I ran Republican, involved downtown. I serve on the Judicial Selection Committee, which is a pretty big deal. When a judge retires, we interview and appoint the new judge for the county. And I am also accepted into the Joanne Davidson Leadership Institute. Joanne Davidson was the only female Speaker of the House in Ohio, and she is currently 90 and runs an institute where she handpicks 20 women across the state of Ohio, elected officials. I am one of 20 this year. I will graduate in April in Washington, D.C. So through all of these things, I'm learning, not only as a woman who has chosen to live here and raise her family here. My husband and I have been here 17 years. I love Harrison. I've been involved. I have proven myself that not only am I serving here on council with budget and all the duties that we do and serving on committees, but I also kind of cross that role in district liaison, all the different events that we do. So I think I've proven myself that I absolutely could step in if something were to happen, God forbid, to the mayor.
Are you satisfied with what you've heard?
Absolutely. I think, I've had the opportunity to get to know both Cindy and Ryan over the last year. And Cindy, I'll tell you, I've not seen anyone outwork you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Ryan, the passion that you've shown and the mentorship that you've given me throughout the process is very valuable. So thank you. I think either one of you would make be a fabulous choice.
You got that right. I think either one of you. I think I'm gonna have to get my coin out here. And flip it.
So put us in a heck of a spot here.
Yeah, this
Well,
is.
you asked for it.
I was gonna say,
So,
you
we
could
have
have
a
just
motion
picked.
on the table by Mark to appoint Ryan Grubbs as vice mayor. And we do not have a second yet, but we would need a second before we can vote. Do we have a second?
And I'll say the only reason that I've gone that route is because you served last year, Cindy. I don't doubt your abilities whatsoever, so don't get me wrong.
Can I make a comment there? I mean,
Yes.
one thought that comes to mind is for 2018, that's not such a busy year for Cindy, but it might be a busy year. 2019 might be a busy year for her next year as well as Mark.
That's true.
It will be.
What's that?
It will be. 19's our election year.
Yeah, it's your election year. And, the other thing I think about here too is we're all interested in serving the city of Harrison, but Cindy might have, do you have bigger aspirations? Maybe she does. You don't have to answer that question. And this certainly helps her resume.
I don't know where my path will lead.
We-
Who
we
knows?
help
What do
her
we know?
along that way. So I don't have a real strong opinion whether, if we serve one-year terms, if they're consecutive, or if we rotate around. But I'm just thinking, we're talking about people who are in town or who are interested in the job. We're talking about Mrs. Abrams, Mr. Grubbs, Mr. Lewis, and just it might make sense of the two interested to look at Cindy this year and Mr. Grubbs next year
In 19.
in 19.
I think I have a different opinion. And my opinion is this. It starts right in the beginning. What is best for Harrison? This is not a resume builder.
That was my point exactly at the beginning, is we need to focus on what the position is and why we're appointing someone to it. It's not about putting a feather in your cap. It's not about
It's about stewardship.
self-achievement. It's about who's going to be able to provide best for the role that's being filled. And I think, like I said initially, we all came to this table to serve, and we all bring a different skill set. I mean, every one of us has a different skill set that we bring. Some are very strong in finance, some are very strong in management, some are very strong in operations or IT or whatever. But the beauty of that is that all those different skill sets together work great. But there's a skill set that has to be able to step into the mayor's point at some point, and if it's refined and it works great, if it doesn't, then the city suffers. And
And as far as the city suffering, I mean,
I don't think that's going to be the case with
Right,
either of
that's
these
what I mean.
individuals.
Mayor, if I may, at this point, there is no second on the table.
Correct.
So, obviously, the decision hasn't been made in my case. So, how do we work backwards from there?
Well, we'll either get a second or the motion will die and we'll look for a new motion. So that's where we're at now. So we would need to get a second, or the motion would die for lack of a second, and then we would look for a new motion.
So before a second motion, does that,
So you have a motion, and then you have
then
the
there's a
second.
second, then there'll be a vote. However,
If
does that allow someone else to also make a motion for Ms. Abrams as well?
No, once the first action is acted upon, unless it fails, then we would not go to a second action. So if there's a second and there's a vote, and there's not a majority to approve it, then that motion fails and we could have a new motion. But if there's not a second, we could have that motion would die for lack of a second. We would have a new motion made, most likely for Ms. Abrams to be appointed vice mayor. We'd get a second and have a vote, and if it's a majority vote, then she would be appointed.
And what if we split? Because obviously they're probably not voting, right? If they are,
They would probably,
No, they're voting.
they are voting, they vote for
they
themselves.
can vote for themselves, but
Got it. Still could be a split.
The mayor would decide.
if it's a,
Mayor will decide?
yes.
I'm
So we
not,
don't go to like a fire challenge and see who passes.
I'm not doing push-ups tonight, guys.
First council meeting, that would be fantastic.
just to be
Okay,
clear, I'm
guys.
not, I'm going to vote yay for Ryan, just to make it totally clear
And
here.
I would do the same for Cindy.
I do believe that,
We all get along real well.
we do.
Let's just make a
fire
decision.
making.
If
It
you're
is what
not
it
going to
is.
second the motion, then I want to
Mark
back it
started
out
this.
so I can go ahead and make a motion.
I'll second the motion. For
So we have a
Ryan.
motion by Mark and a second by Urbano to appoint Ryan Grubbs as vice mayor. Would you please take the roll?
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Feels weird, but yay.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
I don't like saying this, but I hope you never have to take this seat.
Mr. Mayor, we.
I kind of like you, so I hope I never have to take yourself.
At this time, we'll go to the next agenda item, which is approval of the 2018 council committee assignments.
So moved.
Second.
Who so moved? Me. Dole.
Will you please take the roll?
Dole.
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yay.
That's okay. The next item is approval of the 2018 boards and commissions.
So moved.
Second.
Please take the roll.
Maines.
Yay.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Grubbs.
Yay.
Lewis.
Yay.
Dole.
Yay.
There are a couple vacancies you'll see on that list. If you have suggestions, please get them to me. We need a member on the Board of Zoning Appeals, and a member for the Income Tax Review Committee, and a member on the Planning Commission. Recreation, they always have a couple that come and go, so Kim, the new commissioner for Rec Commission. She'll probably find those and bring them to me, but if you have suggestions for any other ones, get them to me and we'll find somebody to fill those spots.
I think that's on the agenda to discuss at REC anyway, for our first meeting, so.
We had no visitors sign up this evening. Do we have anybody that would like to address council at this time? Okay. That brings us down to the mayor's report. I would like to welcome all the new members and our new clerk. I wish you great success this year and for the balance of your terms, and I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
As we do too.
That brings us down to the law director's report.
Mr. Mayor, I don't have a report other than to ditto what you said. Congratulations to those newly elected and those elected for another term, and I look forward to another great year in 2018 and working with all of you.
Ms. Abrams, do you have a report this evening?
I do, Mr. Mayor, thank you. I'd also like to say congratulations to Urbano and Mike, and of course Ethan and Ryan, and welcome, Risa. We look forward to working with you this year. It's going to be a great year. Economic Development Committee met tonight. A couple things, just kind of goals and priorities for Q1 of this year. We will roll out applications for our revolving loan fund for the downtown district. They're available January 8th. It's up to $70,000 loan at a low interest to our businesses downtown. They could borrow up to $20,000 each. We are currently reviewing title work, setting closing, and meeting with a possible tenant for 301 Harrison Avenue. That's going to be exciting to see that building come to life. We are Economic Development's bringing legislation to council on January 16th, reference entertainment districts. We're going to create one to start out with downtown, and we are looking at other locations around the city for entertainment districts. And our new webpage is going to get a little makeover. Looking by the end of March, hopefully, the city webpage will be get a little facelift there. Keep an eye out for Envision Harrison. Our comprehensive plan, of course, is going on, and we're excited to roll that out. Keep an eye out for the next public meeting date, should be hopefully at the end of February. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Grubbs, do you report this evening?
I have a couple different items. I did not have any, well, no committee that I was actually chair on. Mr. Dole will actually cover those, but I am chairing finance this year, and we will have our first meeting of the year on Tuesday, January 16th, and that'll be at 5:30. Just in regards to the volunteers for the boards and commissions, it's incredibly important that we have volunteers from the community. Even if you're not willing to step up yourself, if you know somebody that would be a good fit, please take the time to reach out to any one of us or the mayor to ask some questions or have them ask questions. It's important, well, obviously with young individuals in the room today, but the serving alone is invaluable. But the feedback that we get from our community members helps make every event, every activity, everything that we do better across the community. So each of those individuals that come to us and help us through, it helps us in everything that we do on a daily basis or bi-weekly basis, depending on what's going on. So please take the time to think about it and start throwing the word out there. So, and then I do want to welcome Mr. Maines, Mr. Galindo, and Mrs. Dole. Obviously very excited to work with you. We've got to know each other very well over the campaign process and standing out in the cold and doing everything else. And obviously I'm very excited, so I want to thank everybody that took the time to go out and vote for everybody. But obviously, especially for myself, thank you. And then I do appreciate the respect that was shown here this evening in regards to the vice mayorship. And I do thank you for this opportunity. And thank you, Ms. Cindy.
You're welcome.
That's all I have, sir. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. One more thing. I almost blew it. See? She's fabulous. I would like to invite the mayor to the podium, please. Jerry, if you're watching, I apologize. apologize. Jerry Wilson wasn't able to be here this evening. He was feeling a little bit under the weather, but the American Legion would like to make a donation to the Mayor's Fund. Obviously, the American Legion does a lot for our community, not with just our past and present service members, but the support that the Legion has shown throughout 2017 and now the very first meeting of 2018. The American Legion Post 199 would like to present the Mayor's Fund $399.44. Mr. Mayor, thank you. Okay, now that's all I have. Thank you very much, Mrs.
I'd like to thank the American Legion and all their members and all those that participate in their bingo. This is proceeds from their inside bingo, and they share that with the Mayor's Fund. And the Mayor's Fund is a local charity that helps those in need and helps them get back into society in their times of need. And so the Legion helps us, the Mayor's Fund, to help those people. In addition to all the great things they do for our local veterans and service members. It's a wonderful organization, and they've been very faithful in helping the Mayor's Fund. So I'd like to thank every one of the members over there and all those that participate in their bingo. Mr. Lewis, do you have a report this evening?
I do not have anything to report this evening, Mayor, but I would like to welcome aboard Risa. I'm looking forward to working with you, and congratulations. And to Ryan and Ethan, congratulations on your reelection. Looking forward to some more years together. And Urbano and Mike, welcome aboard. It's a good way to start it, with a nice heated debate already. So glad to have you guys aboard. I'm looking forward to it. I will be chairing Police Committee this year, and we will continue to meet on the third Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. So our first meeting will be the 16th at 6 o'clock. Mr. Menninger is not present this evening, and he's chairing the Fire Committee, so I'm going under the assumption that it will remain the same as it has been, and Fire Committee will meet at 6:30 on the third Tuesday of the month, which will also be the 16th. That is all I have for this evening, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Dole, do you have a report this evening?
Yes, I do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. For our first Streets Committee meeting of 2018, we discussed there'll be a pre-con meeting next week with John R. Jurgensen. They were the contractors selected for the reconstruction of Flintstone. Hopefully, anticipating a decent spring, we're looking at a late March start on that project. Another note from Streets, Christmas tree pickup. It's that time of year. That'll be on the same schedule as the leaf pickup. You can find that on the city website. I'll go through it real quick for you. Monday and Tuesday is downtown Harrison from Cater Avenue north to Brooks Road and Biddle Heights. Wednesday and Thursday, they'll pick up in the Whitewater Meadows from Etta south on down to Campbell. Friday, they'll do Country View, Circle Drive area, Westbrook Estates, and Harrison Avenue south to Campbell Road, Hickory Flats, Carolina Pines, and Stone Ridgeway. So Friday's a busy day for the tree pickup. That should be it for Streets. With Utility Committee, we had 3 water mains break last week in this beautiful weather we've been having. So a big thank you goes out to the Water Department and Street Department guys. So if you see them out there in the ditch, just be careful driving around. Be conscientious. There's people out there trying to get you back in service. So also with this cold we're having, just something to think about. Outside walls of your house, you got any plumbing running through there, crawl spaces, make sure you're leaving your pipe strip at night. Could save you a bunch of money. So that's all I've got, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Baines, do you have a report this evening?
No, Mayor, I do not, but I would like to concur with Judge Searcy and my wife's invitation this evening. Thank her for coming out and doing that, and that certainly was a special moment for me. 28 and a half years of lots of special moments, and that's one that's right up there. I want to thank Judge Searcy for coming out and swearing us in tonight. I'm glad I went last. I finally kind of got settled down after that. And I'm really excited to serve with this group. I mean, what a fun group you folks have been to work with in the last year and a half, and to kind of learn how the city works. And now I get to sit behind the desk and do that. And that's exciting, and it's humbling. My pastor, Mark Garrett, shared a sermon this past Sunday, and one of the verses he shared was Ephesians 2:10. And it says that we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so that we can do good things he planned for us to do a long time ago. And I'm excited about the things he's going to do in this city in 2018, and to be a part of that, and to be able to work with everyone on the council and the mayor to do that. And welcome aboard, Risa.
Thanks. Thank you. Mr. Galindo, do you have a report this evening?
No report, Mr. Mayor. I would like to address the visitors here today and my peers here on council. I'm humbled to be able to sit at the table and learn from, work with, hopefully teach a little bit in some areas. One thing I will say to everybody out here is I will put the city of Harrison first. It's bigger than myself. It's bigger than the position. I'm humbled, and I appreciate the candor this evening, the back and forth. I think there'll be a lot of that going on, but it's constructive. It makes us better, makes us stronger. I want to thank my wife, my daughters for coming out. I wouldn't be here without them. They're the support that make me want to be a better person. Old Master Sergeant buddy of mine made the drive up from Wright Pat Air Force Base. Sergeant Stanfield, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And we talk about the city of Harrison. One of the things that I got to do over the last year is knock on a lot of doors. Talked to a lot of folks at Kroger, talked to a lot of folks online, and there were two individuals that made a humongous difference for me, and that's Mike and Carrie in the back row. Meeting you guys, they reached out to me, helped me with my campaign, and locked down a whole precinct for me, and they didn't know me. We talked, they got to understand philosophy a little bit, or what we were thinking, and it's people like that in Harrison that just show me that people are willing to go to work for someone they don't know because they love the city of Harrison. That to me is humbling, and that to me is a culmination of a long year, but more importantly, something that I've aspired to do for my lifetime, and that is to serve the community. Thank Judge Searcy for swearing us in. I thought I had a little PTSD there for a minute, taking an oath. I did that several times in the past.
What's my excuse then?
And every time I did that, I got deployed to war. So I'm hoping that she doesn't send me somewhere, Mayor, because I do like Harrison and I'm here by choice. Just for everyone's FYI, I'll be chairing the Civil Defense and Safety Committee. Looking forward to working with Chief Hersong and Chief Lindsay. Expect to learn a lot. Master Sergeant and I did that for the Air Force for several years. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. I'm also chairing the Building and Lands Committee, working with the townships. Looking forward to that. I'm humbled for the opportunity. I'm an open door. I have an open door. Anything that I can do to serve the city, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you. You bring a set of skills that I don't think we've had a 21-year veteran of the military sit up here for quite a long time, if we have. Not in my tenure. So you're going to bring a unique perspective to things, and I look forward to that, because the difference in our backgrounds is what makes us stronger when we work together.
Absolutely.
So the candor and the discussion, as long as it's honest and truthful and not degrading, it's always beneficial.
And civil. Agreed.
It's civil, yeah. Do we have any other comments or business that we need to attend to?
No, sir.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Please take the roll.
Galindo.
Yay.
Abrams.
Yay.
Scruggs,
Yay.
Lewis,
Yay.
Dole,
Yay.
Maines.
Yay.
We stand adjourned.